Halo is the worst game of all time. The most terrible franchise that has ever franchised in all of existence. I have no idea why anyone would even like this franchise or even purchase things from this franchise. I, for one, would not waste any kind of money at all to be playing this type of awful garbage. Hi, I'm Poopy Schmoopy, and I'm here to give you my big scoop on the Halo series, Episode 1. Yes, I'm making fun of people who do stupid shit, that's the joke. Oh wait, I'm not gonna get any subscribers unless they do the smash the motherfucking like button, hit the subscribe. I think I'm dead on the inside. I think that's what's happening. Okay, anyway, so the Halo series on Paramount Plus, Episode 1. I saw it, I wanted to give my feedback, my reaction to it, and I'm gonna start with the positives before everyone's just like, oh, you're a hater of the game. It's like, I love the games. I loved it since I first started with Halo CE on the original Xbox and made my way all the way to Halos 2 and 3, Reach, you know, all those other shits. Yes, I understand the universe of Paramount Plus is going to be different from the universe of the video games. They're not exactly coinciding with each other at all. It's same characters, different story. I know the original voice actor of Master Chief is not going to be voicing this guy. Cortana's voice actor is voicing Cortana, but her character is being played by some other older actress. You know, I don't know, maybe she just likes voice acting and she doesn't want to do real life acting. That's fine. But I mean, there's a lot of things in this Paramount Plus that's just kind of like, really? That's the best you could do? Like, so am I going to be a little bit critical? Yes, for my love of the franchise. I've played all the games. I've gotten a shit ton of achievements. Okay, so let me start out with the positives because I think it's a shorter list, and not only that, if I start with the negatives, everyone's going to bitch and complain. So, positives. At the beginning, they're having this sort of like legends, like the tales of these Spartans, and they just hear about the propaganda, the soldiers that's been crafted by the UNSC. So they spread it around like a ghost story. They talk about the legends, like one Spartan is equivalent to 100 Marines. Like they're so powerful, badass, they're meant to be feared.
We cannot be stopped. We just keep on killing till there's nothing left to kill.
I like that part, but at the same time, I kind of didn't like it because it's just kind of like a stereotypical starting point for these stories where you're starting off in the eyes of civilians looking at the UNSC like, oh, UNSC bad because I say so. But I'm gonna give it that because it's establishing a feel that these regular people have against these super enhanced individuals. I mean, this isn't like a positive critique, but it's just really funny that the little boy was like, we're not going to die, are we?
Are we gonna die? Oh, of course not. We're warriors, aren't we? Yeah, stay put. I'll be back, okay?
It's funny, it's comical because of how like just immediate the promise was just broken that he's gonna be safe, and then no. Are we going to be safe? Yes. The blasted effects on the wall, the Attack on Titan wall when the Covenant are first coming in is really cool. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles drop in and start slashing everyone to pieces. Their animations, especially the energy sword, look amazing. Their face and their tendrils are they're not tendrils, but their teeth, their jaws, those are cool. Those are really nice. The like burning animation through the doors, searing, oh, like that was so cool. Lots of gore. I will say that was very unexpected from this type of not franchise, because you do see blood in a franchise, but a lot of you weren't expecting to see like Mortal Kombat level death and dismemberment in like a Paramount Plus thing. So that it was just kind of like, I watched SpongeBob not that long ago, and then I see this and it's like, holy shit. Oh, okay, that's cool. There's an interesting scene here. So Master Chief drops down from above, absolutely does not even break a leg. When he lands though, you can tell that it's like a rubber pad underneath and the sand is like bouncing up as if it was like a little trampoline effect. Right after that, there's a part where he's like running with the weapon, right? But that's animated, you can tell, and then they cut to a shot that's live action, that's with the practical armor, the actor, and he's actually running. And then immediately after that, they go back into animation where he jumps off the vehicle and does a flip and he kills the elite. I thought that animation was nice and fluent. I really just felt like they could have just done the whole thing animated instead of have like real like people there. His teammates drop in, and then the HUD, like those are all really nice and designed very well. And again, just bringing it back to the Singhili, like their face and design, they're like, I love that so much. Not the armor, but their design is nice. Like the whole combat sequence, the fighting, the shooting, like again, the gore and all the blood and everything is so crazy. Like it is really nice when it's not just people sitting around a campfire making up stories about the UNSC being monsters that they are when they're just trying to protect the universe and everything. But you do kind of see like what they mean later on with Halsey and like, you know, how they operate things to keep things on the down low. The UNSC is ruthless. What the fuck? This one was kind of easy to see when as soon as you saw the turret, not only from the first time they were introduced at the gate with the weapon, but as soon as Master Chief even looked at it, he picks it up and does the Halo 3 like stance where he grabs it and he's like mowing them down. You saw that coming, but it was still nice to see because it's a nod to the games. It's really cool. And then just overall, the intro sequence with like the liquid animated like armor that appears on the character, that's obviously not how the armor actually is equipped in the universe. They show you that being constructed the way that they showed in cutscenes for Halo 4, but just the intro design, the artsy type of way that the armor is being assembled on these Spartans, that was dope. Huge visual effects thumbs up right there. That looked really fucking cool, man. I love that a lot. It's like the reverse snap of Thanos, you know, there, instead of it particling off, it's like it's coming in. And then the pose, I mean, come on, that is awesome. The High Charity, I don't know if it's like a planet really, but the High Charity, I have no idea what to call it, but the design and the scale of it was so massive and beautifully designed. It looks amazing. I love that part. Maybe not the hallways so much. It would have been nicer if they stuck it a little bit closer to the games instead of looking like the inside of a mushroom. You know what I mean? The Forerunner ship, or in Halo 2, Master Chief takes on his way to Earth to protect Earth. That ship looks amazing, the Forerunner ship. They kind of humanized a little bit too much on the Prophet of, what was that one, Truth? They look a little weird. I will say that. Again, the visual effects of Dr. Halsey on the table, looking through the x-ray scans of like Master Chief's body and everything. I don't know how they have that much good signal from a suit all the way to wherever the hell the UNSC is at the moment, because they're on the planet Madrigal. Science! And again, I like the little body language that Chief is kind of like, he's concerned about his well-being. He's checking the terminal to see if he's malfunctioning, kind of like a robot, making sure that he's okay. Something's off and I need to check his system. Computer, run diagnostics, you know? It's like, oh, well, I guess I'm fine. I don't know what's wrong then. Because it builds more on the idea that he's more of a machine than man. But at the very end of the episode, he's already very much attached to his humanity side, which is something you don't really see in the games that often. It's kind of like an evolution for him during the video games. It's a little bit early for the TV series to be doing that, but because it kind of loses like that connection and that love for a soldier who's built for war, who's built to kill, to now he's just kind of like, oh, well, I guess he's a softie, and he's already a wanted fugitive like he was in Halo 5. Like, it's just kind of like, it skips a few steps to build up the purpose of the characters. And that's about all I can pretty much like give positively. Now on to the negatives. Welcome to the planet Madrigal, where there's like 5 to 10 extra miles of nothing but sand that was established in the opening shot. And then somehow there's this awful green screen effect where the color grading, the lighting on the characters don't even match the background. You can tell it's green screen. I don't have a problem with the green screen, it's just that he could have blended it in a little bit better. But again, established all desert, and then all of a sudden there's a forest. Where the fuck did those trees come from? Also, do I need to point out the haircuts? I can understand it's a cultural thing, especially if it's another planet, but my god, the haircuts. And again, while giving this praise, I'm also giving it criticism. The generic telling of the ghost stories, the boogeyman, the Spartans, they're killers, murderers, machine, they're awful, it's all propaganda. Kind of cheesy, cliche, I get it, they're opening the story and they're setting the situation again. And then the one kid's like freaking out and he's scared. He's like, well, that's not true, is it? They're not boogeymen, are they? It's just kind of like, ugh. I couldn't stop cringing at it. And then the old man purposely trying to incite that fear even further. It's just like, yeah, of course.
Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, there's a price to be paid with having things convenient. Used to be, a man had to go to the store to buy himself a pitcher of milk. But men got lazy. They wanted that milk delivered right to the door. Only problem was the guy delivering that milk ended up fucking your wife. Sure, you had your nice cold milk delivered right to your doorstep, but your wife was getting pounded out like a mallard duck.
Not really like a fault, but just a criticism. It's so weird that after all these huge explosions, that the Sangheili would just be casually walking in, like their weapons aren't even prepared, they're not rushing in there to claim the territory, like they're just walking in casually like, yes, I would like a side of fries. You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are over here just kicking shit, destroying everything. The animations are great, but the armor, they look like giant walking turtles. Of course, someone's leg gets stuck under something, so he can't protect the people he loves, so then he just screams out in the distance to the people that were just killed. Cliche. And then the people he hates the most, which are the Spartans, because of all the ghost stories and the whatever drama that they want to talk upon with their village, comes into play, where he's shooting at him, and then Master Chief saves his life, and he's like, yes, we are good now, even though I just shot you. Again, cliche, cringy, and just kind of like... Can I just add, by the way, that a plasma pistol did that much damage? A one-hit kill just incinerated his entire skull. Like, these plasma pistols, like these weak-ass plasma pistol weapons do not do any of that in the video game. And again, separating the game from a film or TV series, fine, but it just blew my mind, basically. It was just like, okay, I guess they're that powerful. So there's a scene where the villager woman, she's walking ahead, following the Spartans, but it's just so awfully done. You can see the sand and the mountain just kind of like clip in front of each other. Like they tried to make a parallax with 2D images. The background was just so flat, green screen obvious. It was just so awful. It was like, ugh. And then of course there's one elite still alive, and he's limping over to grab a gun. No other Spartans seem to have noticed or cared. And then the father, the genius that he is, with a giant alien limping to grab a new weapon, walks to the elite and shoots him, knowing damn well that his bullets aren't doing anything, just so he can get grabbed by the neck and then stabbed in the gut. Like, why did you needlessly sacrifice yourself for your daughter? You could have not only just been shooting from a distance to distract him, you could have been throwing shit. You didn't have to walk up to him. You have a gun. Guns are meant for distance, to cover distance. Why are you walking close to the elite, you idiot? Well, now you're dead and you wonder why. The Spartans are like, alright, good job guys, we saved the day. On to the next mission. Everything's burning, exploded on fire. But yeah, they're like literally right under the Phantom. No one sees it. And then one of the Spartans is like, wait, I see it. It's directly above us. Like, yeah, it's pretty big and it makes a lot of noise. How did they not see it that entire time walking down? We have the introduction of the Forerunner artifact, which is just floating in midair. It's been excavated. The Sangheili just didn't want to grab it or put it in a box. And then you have a memory sequence where Master Chief is remembering the past or something that was erased from memory, which is kind of another one of those amnesia things where it's like, wait, I had a past before the UNSC? And I had a family, you say? It's cringy, generic. Yeah. The sound effects from the video game, although I love it, it is a little bit weird to hear it in a live action. It's so weird because like I'm literally thinking, oh shit, was I in the middle of a Halo match? And it's like, no, I was watching Paramount Plus. I wasn't on the Xbox. Also, the Banshee just being readily available right there the whole time. Did no one see that at all? Well, I guess they didn't see the giant ass Phantom, so that answers my question. No one saw it. Master Chief is already refusing orders, going back on what has been told from what he is in the game. He's a man of machine. He follows orders direct to the line, no matter what it was, for the to save humanity at humanity's cost, whatever the cost to save humanity. I can speak words. The helmet, the helmet. I just And then we're on Planet Reach that hasn't been blown up or destroyed yet. Spoiler alerts to the people who haven't played this game. The laboratory that Dr. Halsey's in is a little bit generic, like super open, wide spaces for no other reason. Like there's nothing in there. There's no tools, equipment, machinery. It's just a giant, empty, clean space. Like what kind of science are you doing in here? Also the feedback. Not only did she get it in real time across space, because again, they're on the planet Madrigal and she's on Planet Reach. The instant transmission, the high quality, and then for some reason they blur the sides of it to make it look cool for a television standpoint, but in practicality, you know, if I'm on my computer or if I'm playing Xbox games, I would really prefer to not have blurry sides, you know, like that would make everything so much harder to see and obscure so many other details that you would probably miss. And then Halsey and this woman have a back and forth. It's so cringy and awful. The dialogue from the other woman, not Halsey, I don't know what the other character's name is, but it reminded me of like spending so many years at my grandma's house where all she's watching are like the cringy telenovelas. I didn't like the exchange. It was so weird and like I can't get into it. But I understand they're establishing the motive that if Halsey doesn't do good, they'll cut her funding. That's the motive for like a lot of things. Remember Spider-Man with the Green Goblin?
But you can't do this to me.
You're out, Norman.
Out, am I?
You're gonna turn Dr. Halsey into a Green Goblin, I'm telling you now. And then I'm assuming in this cryopod is the AI human of Cortana, but I have no idea, it's not explained, that's my speculations, but I'm just pointing it out. And then back to High Charity with the weird mushroom fin design going on. And then this human wearing the Dune like stupid Star Wars looking outfit. Like, it's not even practical. Why would you wear that? That doesn't help in combat. That doesn't even make you look good. The CGI of the Prophet is so ugly. It looks like that face, that guy from Spirited Away. He looks like that dude. He just looks so ugly, wrinkly. He looks like a mummy. Looks like a little aborted child face. It looks weird. I would rather they just stick with the games. Those lips though, ugh. Them lips though.
You stay here with your weird secret sex lips.
I did not say this earlier, but the pelican design, or condor, I should say, I actually really like it. Nice condor design. Wakes up unconscious, still the same blood splats on her face. Like if that was me, I would have wiped that off a long time ago. The exchange with Miranda Keyes and this villager girl is so interesting. Like, you could have just saved your own plan for when you actually were in front of the UNSC to speak out about what happened. But instead, she'd rather tell Miranda Keyes that, yeah, I would like to say a few words. How you guys suck! Like, you could have saved that for the actual speech. It would have been broadcasted live. Like, why would you foil your own plan? Idiot. Also, when these scientists, Halsey and whoever the guy is next to her, are looking at the nervous system of Master Chief, he's not even looking to where the hologram is. Like, the hologram is down here and he's like, whoa, this is amazing. And his heart rate. Like, what are you looking at, dude? The scale with the Spartans and the regular humans are so, like, visually you can easily tell, like, they're not like 10 feet tall. They're just like maybe a couple inches taller than the average sized human. It is a little bit weird. If it was like CG, it would have felt better. The armor as well. Some of the plastic bits you can see morphing around the shoulder. You can tell it's just a Halloween costume. I actually really appreciated the CGI in this movie, not only from the elites, but the Spartans when Master Chief was dropping down, running, jumping over cars. It looked pretty decent. And if anything, that looked more like how you would think of a Spartan in outer space, but with real actors, it doesn't really translate that well. And then, holy shit, the UNSC just like, yeah, that girl, she succumbed to her injuries. And what I mean by that is, Master Chief's gonna go, he's gonna go deliver a bullet via Amazon Prime. Again, we were told that the helmets were gonna be removed a couple times during the series. We will see his face. It's different from this, the video game universe. This TV show series is for the fans of the video games, right? Like, why would you take off the helmet so quickly? It kind of ruins the whole like intimate moment of like, well, what does he look like, and is he gonna learn to connect with his human side? Because he was raised as a machine since he was a kid, adopted by Halsey. He's been enhanced. He sees Halsey as a mom, whatever. But it just kind of like, well, that's it. He just removes his helmet that easily. So there's not really like any mystery or suspense or like talking like, oh, is it this episode it's gonna happen? It's just kind of like, oh, that's him. That's his face. I mean, I get it. They're trying to have a heart-to-heart moment. Master Chief and this villager girl that's about to die. He's saying, if you want to kill me, aim up here. I get it. I get it. It just... Also, I like that she gives up on trying to rewire everything and just shoots the thing to hell with the battle rifle. But this is kind of stupid though, right? Because like he's surrounded not only by an endless amount of Marines and endless amount of weapons, the Mac gun, again, I'm pointing out to that, but the turret and the Warthog and everything. He decides, well, let me just touch this alien thingy one more time, and like EMP blasts everything. Like, how did you know that was gonna happen? Why did that even happen? Did you communicate with the artifact to tell it to do that? Why out of everything, your plans that were failing, you know, to launch, to take manual control over the Condor, to fly it out of there, to keep this villager woman safe? I'm sorry, I don't know her name. But then why would your instinct be to just go to the alien artifact and touch it and see if it does anything to save your ass? Luckily it did, for story purposes and by cliche directors directing this and writers writerness. I love the games and I played the game since I was a kid, and the TV show was made for the fans, the people that played the games, read the comics or the books, you know, the people that are invested in all the lore and the whole universe and the characters that are built with it. And like, I get it, you're not gonna find the exact same person to sound like the guy who does the voice acting for the video game, because he's an older gentleman. You're not gonna find these exact people that are physically built the same, that look the same, whatever. And you know, stories change, because if you're just retelling the stories that people have already played the video games of, it's just kind of like, well, what new content was there? Like, I get it. Personally though, I would have preferred that. If the whole thing was just animated, scrap the live action, just make the whole thing animated, because the animated sequences and the realistic looking elites were cool. Like those would be easier to manipulate, to simulate that they're in space because of their higher jumping. They wouldn't need to have like the bulky armor, the plastic Halloween costumes that the actors would need to wear around set. I would have just preferred if they did a Halo 2 anniversary where Blur Studios remastered the cutscenes, but for this, like a full-length film of Blur Studios Halo 2 anniversary as a movie. Hell, even let them remaster Halo 3, because they do amazing work. Blur Studios is fucking badass. It's a lot of money though, I know, I get it. I mean, the Halo 2 anniversary cutscenes were so good that I even downloaded it in 4K so I can actually have it and on the background playing as like a movie while I'm doing homework or playing video games. I love the animation so much, the story, the acting, the physics simulations, you know, the fluids, the hive mind. Like, Halo 2 Anniversary's cutscenes I do genuinely watch as a movie when I'm not even playing the Halo MCC. Like, yeah, I can play the video game and watch the cutscenes again, and I do that, but to have it downloaded fully in 4K and I'm able to watch it whenever I want as a movie, I actually did that. If I could have bought it as a featured film, I would have absolutely done it, but I can't unless I record it myself with my Elgato capture card, and then I make it into a movie myself in 4K so I can watch it for myself. I mean, overall, is it awful? No. Is it cringy? Yes. Some parts like really well animated and other parts are like really awfully terribly animated. Yes. I don't know if they just didn't care, if they were just constraints. God, I can't believe we're living in a time where I'm saying, yeah, I'm looking forward to Sonic 2 over Halo. Like, that blows my mind. And it's like, really? Is that how low the bar is right now, to where Sonic is the most anticipated film or series compared to Halo? But yeah, I mean, it's not amazing, it's not terrible, it's just kind of like, yeah. A lot of people on Twitter are praising the shit out of this. I get it, they're stans, or they want to support shitty content so that they can make better content in the future. Like, I get it, it's just where I'm standing as a huge fan of the games. I played them for years, I have a shit ton of like their shirts, and it's like a beautiful mess, you know? But everyone has their tastes, everyone has their preferences. That's my opinion, that's what I'm talking about. As a huge fan of the game, it's just kind of disappointing. I did exactly what they told me to do in Spider-Man. Keep your expectations low so that you'll never be disappointed. And I was still disappointed. I don't know if I'll even finish watching the season, honestly. I don't know. But in the meantime, I think I'm good just playing the video games. I would honestly recommend everyone play the original Bungie version of Halos 1, CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, not really Halo ODST. I think that one is honestly the worst Bungie Halo game that there was. Halo Reach is amazing. I recommend Halo Reach a lot. Halos 4 and 5 you can completely skip because they're awful garbage. I would rather just say play Infinite. Infinite's not awful, but it's also not like the best Halo that 343 has made. But the cutscenes and the story are a lot better, and the gun mechanics, the grapple shot especially. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna continue playing Halo. Like a mouse.